There comes a time when I wonder, do I have the right cards for a particular reading? And this is one of those times. I'm not so sure I have the right cards that can explain things the way they need to be explained, but we are definitely going to be doing it with these cards because we're going to get the answers. Believe me, not to worry. And if you hear noise in the background, well, that's Sammy. She's being a little active today. Definitely, we are all Hello everyone and welcome. I am Lady Zelda Kelly with Seeing Crime, and today is August 19th of 2025, and this is the long-awaited reading. I want to see, and I know you want to see too, what is going on with KP. Special agent, undercover agent, special government agent. You get the picture. I'm hesitant for a few things because, not because I have a concern about myself. I think there's a can of worms to be opened. So, hey, you know what? We just may as well get into it. We have the House of Zelda cards. We have the Kipper, the Mythic, the Cartomancy, and What Lies Beneath. And I have some other cards. We can bring those in as well. I'm going to line up the table with our friends. Sorry, I've got a little something there. And we're going to lay out, let me know, other than this little guy, whatever he is, piece of fuzz, I can't get up. Let me know what you see. Oh, and here is a face. Look very happy. Here's one. Oh, look at this. Lionesque, doggy maybe. Look, there's the nose, eyes, fur. All right. I think we pretty much know where a lot of energy is coming into. Spirits, guides, angels, we're asking now what's going on with KP. And we know that KP has been a thorn in the side of Aiden for quite some time. We want to know, where's this going? What's happening? Is there more? Guide and direct us. It's time to look closer. We've been getting that card a lot, actually, for the last 2 weeks. Wisdom is needed. I would say definitely. Poetic justice. I'll explain these cards in a minute. Burning desire. We're going to lay out one more. I always like to lay out 5 to get started. A lesson. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Justice is coming. I think I like that just about as well as anything. Let's get into it. Look closer. Bottom line, there is much more coming. I've been feeling that for a while. I've been hesitant for 3 days to do this reading because I wanted to make sure that it was not a personal feeling, but something intuitive coming through, and I believe it's intuitive. Through some of the missing texts, through some of this information, and I say missing text, that's the text bundle, I'm going to say, from Jennifer and McCabe that was handed over by the CW to the defense team of Aiden. There may be some things, because quite frankly, what is happening here is that, and I know that you see this too, one side points to this, one side points to that. This is coming here, this is coming there. And it's like, I suppose everybody felt like they wanted to jump on the bandwagon, and especially when it came to Aiden, aka Turtleboy, for those of you who don't know. Time to look closer. The reason I put this card the way it is, because I think that you can see here, it is an empty room, so to speak, with a mirror. I'm sorry, with a window, but this is a mirror, and it's reflecting the floor here. Time to look closer not only means look closer into the situation for evidence, circumstance, situations, whatever, but it's also time to look into the mirror. Is there something that needs to be revealed, uncovered? You can see the window sheds light on the situation, and there's artificial light back here, which is not a natural light, but still helps to shed light on a situation, and then a chair in the background. Wisdom is needed. This owl perched high above the mountains, perched high. Now, quite frankly, I made this so it could either resemble a sun or a moon. In this particular case, I'm going to say that it is a moon, because many things that are not on the up and up are associated with the moon. I'm going to say it that way. And if you want to get really involved, the moon is associated in some regard with evil. Sun is definitely good. When someone sets out to harm other people and act as though it is a wise act and can sit in a position where they feel they are above others, that is a problem. Wisdom is needed, but perhaps by the person who is sitting above others, because that is not a wise move. Poetic justice is coming. How do we know this? Well, not only do we have Poe sitting there all sweet and cozy looking, but we have this book, this grimoire, this tattered looking book, and yet it holds a plethora of information. And this is a suggestion of digging deeper into the evidence, into documents, and seeing what has been booked. What is that? Recorded. A burning desire. I read on this situation a long time ago and did not post it. But I will tell you what I have felt, and I've always felt, is that there is a particular jealousy there. Because I think that she wanted to be recognized by Aiden. She saw that, Aiden has relationships, and yet there was none with her. And I'm not going to say anything about that. But there was a burning desire to be invited and included into the fold. And to a certain degree, she was. But she showed her true colors. And she showed that she could not be trusted. The lesson, and you see we've had 2 open books here. She, KP, is starting to become an open book, in which we can see things a lot easier. Hell hath no fury. She is a scorned woman. She feels burned. Sorry about that finger there. She feels burned. The lesson is obviously, hindsight's 2020. But the lesson is also there will be more associations with her that will be found out. She has gone to and is using everything, everywhere, everybody. And the funny part of this is nobody, including Jennifer McCabe, has realized that she herself has been used by KP. It looks the other way around to some degree. I mean, after all, what can a sofa buy? But a hard lesson is going to be learned. Justice is coming. One of my favorite cards. And notice the books. Books 3 times. 3 is significant in this particular case, as it was in Karen. The balance of work, life, balance of keeping evil at bay and keeping good in front. Knowing that this now has become an open book of recorded errors. I'm going to be kind and say it that way. But there's more to come. And it definitely shows that. We're going to leave that here. We're just going to leave that here. That's good for right now. Kipper, tell us about KP. Where does this stand? Tell us about KP. Lots of despair. What's on the bottom of the deck? Thief. Well, I'm not sure, didn't Aiden say that she stole from him? There's a lot of despair at this point because you're going to see some people starting to scramble. This could be Cosgrove, could be Morrissey. This, we're going to ask who that role is playing. I'm thinking that is a Jennifer McCabe role. And the despair because things are closing in. Yeah, see, I got a confirmation from the fur audience back there. Things are closing in. There's much more to come as we see Tim Bradle and attorney Mark Betterow go to the mattresses for Aiden. Is this in her future? I believe that is what they're pushing for. What she has done by falsifying documentation, that is my own assessment. I'm not a lawyer. That's my opinion based on what I've seen here. That's what they're cooking. That's what they're looking for. And this is a point where, and look, there's a little doggy there. This is a point where all of this nervousness, anxiety, drama is starting to rub off on others. I'm going to tell you something, my darlings. The fights are on. If you don't think they're fighting amongst themselves, oh, they certainly are. Especially since the texts came out. There's implication with KP. There's concern. I mean, these texts are going to be extremely serious because you know why? There's always a rat or more in the equation. Who's the rat? Well, I don't know. I still think somebody is going to be a little bird and start singing. I think we would be surprised as to whom it may be. Getting a room. Hotel, motel. I'm wondering because wasn't that something... Did KP follow Karen somewhere? I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking that. But getting a room can mean really anything. Caution. There's the caution tape coming. The caution is here. Caution pretty much saying, you've got to be careful. And it's game over. Look at the heart. Game over. This next hearing, we will be finding out if there is a evidentiary hearing. That made a noise. And when it does that, that is like, hello, get your attention. Throwing out the trash. Getting rid of. Is she possibly trying to get rid of things now? Is she possibly trying to get rid of, I don't know. Could it possibly be something in writing? Could it possibly be something that she thought had been deleted? Total drama. Well, I don't have to be psychic to know that that is definitely here. One more of these. Knowing that she flucht up. There we go. She knows that now because look. And I think this is why this guy turns out to be Morrissey, because he's been pretty much almost MIA since Karen 2 months ago. Not came out, not really made any appearances to speak of. Now, we're not going to take all those because it hit my thumb, but I'm going to take this. The Two of Wands. See, we've got this little fellow back there. Look at his hands. Now, we see him in another card. What he's doing with his hand is this. But the Two of Wands is an exploration, getting ready to go into somewhere else. And you know who this fellow is? Well, I'm going to look in the deck right now. We're going to pick him out. Let's see if we can find him. Look at this. I mean, this just tells the story. Hello. It just tells the story. I'm gonna go through this, and I want to pick this card out, and I want to tell you what this means. If I can find it. Give me a second. I would pause it, but starting and stopping is more of a hassle than getting it together. It'll be the last card, I'm sure, or close to it. The Hierophant. Now, look at him. So the Hierophant, who is also a Taurus, I don't know who Taurus would be in this, and it really doesn't matter to a certain degree, but this is trying to overcome something, maybe in a trial basis, maybe spiritually in a trial. But he's standing there. Look at him. He's got a document. And he's got his little hand. Look at that. But look at this. It's the same. It's as though you did a wide shot. It's like he's sitting back here. Now we see the full embracing of this picture. The Two of Wands with this Hierophant is telling us that the defense of Aiden, has been exploring this and will continue to explore this to the nth degree, and they will find something. They will find something more. There's more coming. The month of September is going to be pretty wild. because I don't know if you've noticed or not, and I'm gonna put these cards back in. I don't know if you've noticed, but you know, when you see people trying to cover, explain, justify things that have happened in the Karen Reed case with John O'Keefe, with Jennifer McCabe, Matt McCabe, Proctor, Tully, Yuri, when you see all of that start happening, you know, when they come out and look at the McAlberts, when they made this statement about, oh, woe is me, they made this statement on national television. They don't realize that people look at these things through a different perspective, and they look at it as though they just need the money. They just want money. They just want to be recognized. Oh, they're going to be recognized, all right. But a lot of the information now will be shared with the Karen Reed team for civilly, 5 of Pentacles, and they will be on their own way broke going forward. The King of Pentacles is a judge, and I don't know if it's going to be Judge Doolin or not in this next hearing. I hope that there is an evidentiary hearing, but I think there could be, in which she would go on the stand. She, KP, and that is a new beginning, and it will be extremely emotional. And the 7 of Swords, at this point, she feels that she's gotten away with it all, which I don't know if she lives in an delusional, Delulu, I don't know. But I can tell you right now, my darlings, there couldn't be any more the opposite of this. I still feel, I'm going to get this next little here. I want to ask, will they drop this? But see, here's the thing. If they drop it now, it still doesn't matter. Aiden is going to go forward. There is a legal card. It is expansion. The diamonds are air signs. They're legal. There's another one. This has been an education for sure. And this card coincides with a lesson that we have here. And this basically says, it's talking about finding new ideas, finding more, learning more, expanding more. This is almost as though from breaking from this routine, going into something much more. And look at this. Now this is interesting, because normally this is the yes card. But with this heart upside down, and among the cards that they are right now, that can definitely mean playing emotional games. And there is a huge warning against that. And I believe this started out as a small segment to ruin Aiden, and it just kept getting bigger. It got infected. It festered. And the more it happened, the more chances that she was able to take. My question to the defense team of Aiden, have they contacted YouTube, or will they, and share this information? I believe it's intellectual property, perhaps, maybe. Copyright, maybe, I don't know. That was fudged, I'm going to say that in a nice way, by KP and sent to YouTube to get Aiden demonetized or taken down. That's my question. Is that going to happen? But see, there's so many, I want to say little things like that. Seems little, but it's not. It's pretty big. Somebody that would do that, dangerous. They will do anything. There's a lot of indecision around this. And this right here, my darlings, with the two deuces, parting, separating, ending. There's going to be an end to this. There's going to be an end. The judge will help to put this to an end. I do not know if there's going to be an evidentiary hearing. There needs to be, but I think what they're going to be doing is figuring out how they can do this. Now, the CW is going to want Aiden to sign a release that releases them from all liability, I'm thinking, based on these two cards. And he will not. If that comes into fruition, he will not. Because the CW has a definite uncertainty. There will definitely be a rapid recovery from Turtleboy's side. Rapid recovery. Well, he's lost a lot of money. He's lost a lot of time. Let me turn this around because there are not... I like to have you see this. And I want you to see what's on the bottom of the deck. That is Jennifer McCabe. This right here is hiding something big, and it's something in plain sight. I don't think they've overlooked it, but they're going to get to it, and there's more. It is a big secret. They've been hiding things for a long time. Why does Jennifer McCabe come up? Well, sofa. At this point with these people, I want to say, why not? Someone that is younger, immature. There's some concern over money from KP. And a need for caution. I'm going to say this. Desperate people do desperate things. And when people become desperate, they become ultra dangerous in some degree. Now, I'm not predicting that anyone will experience anything getting hurt. I just feel that she's taken chances and she's willing to take more. This 9 of Diamonds says that there will be a happy ending, lots of progress from lots of work, but Turtleboy Aiden has just begun. I want to get a final word. Give me a final word here, my darlings. Final word. 5 of Swords. I like this card. We're going to leave it out. 5 of Swords. That is a card that basically says Aiden is winning. He's winning. The CW will eventually lay down their sword. This is probably one of the most important cards. We all know this. The judge knows it. Everyone knows it. However, having this information in black and white in front of you, in front of a judge, and it's not just one little slip up. It is evidence and document upon document upon document. See the cemetery there? That's a metaphorical meaning. That means when falsehood or being lied to comes into a situation, these things have a very slow, sometimes painful demise. I'm going to put it that way. And that's what's happened here. Because KP and these people cannot let go. They cannot let go of Aiden. They cannot let go. They just like they did with Karen, something deep and crooked and horrible within them says the more they push, they will eventually win. I only know one being that is like that, who's dragging a lot of souls down with him. And when you read the back of the Bible, you'll know who it is. You see, we already know the tea. So it's a matter of time for one of these resources, as in a judge, to wake up, smell the roses. But I believe at this point, they're cornered. The Commonwealth is cornered. They're going to be danged if they do and danged if they don't. KP does not have a very good future. She's going to be tangled up into some legal, in my opinion. I don't read legal like that. But I can tell you for some of the things, if they are true, if there is evidence that can prove that it was done, which I believe there is, in my opinion, supposedly, allegedly, she's looking at something very harsh. You can't steal from people and then steal more from them expecting that it will heal or that you will break them. She feels that she's been led by this person. And this person feels he has been led by this other person here. What's the connection there? I'm not so sure we'll ever know. But I think sometimes the connection in these cases can be just pure hate. And that's enough to drive people. I don't understand it. You don't understand it. Many of us don't. It's because we're not wired that way. Hate is debilitating. But there's only one thing that I can say. We already know the tea. And justice for KP is coming, and definitely for others as well. That's what I've got today, my darlings. Thanks so much. Join me Thursday night at 7 p.m. for Help, I'm Being Haunted. We've got a good show coming for you. And I'm going to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, subscribe and like. It certainly helps. Bye for now.